So what I'm showing you today is after I installed my cabinets, I saved this cabinet for a trash can. So the important thing is that the instructions for this are a top mount. The mount is at the top side, and the waste bins hang. Okay, there are some versions of a Rev-a-shelf that are bottom wire frames at the bottom, and then the baskets sit in there. So please take note, this is installation instructions for this top mount. Thing that I'm going to have to do is my cabinets, I just want to shore them up, so I'm going to put a furring strip back here on the right and the left. So that's the first step. So to get in here, I remove the drawer. You see that I've cut, they're 1/2 inch. Honestly, I'm a scrapper, so this is parts of a pallet, and I just cut the furring strips that way. So I like two drills allows me to drill with one and screw with the other, so I don't have to climb in and out of this cabinet. It's already a little uncomfortable. Okay, so the next step is to remove this part. So there's a release, there's like a release catch, if I can get it here. There's a release catch right here. See that black tab? I'm going to pull that towards me, and then this slides out. So then I can remove this. So the rail is now separated from the top, because I'm going to attach it to the back of the cabinet before we attach this to the front of the door. Okay, so now that I've removed that slide, I need to attach it to the rear bracket, because this bracket is what's going to attach to the furring strips that I have in the back of the cabinet. So I'm going to slide this in here, and then it kind of locks into place. So you see this mechanism here is going to end up on that back left furring strip that I've put in. This 14.5 inches from the base of the cabinet. So that's an important thing to note. So I'm going to pre-drill this so that it doesn't split my face frame. And then we're going to attach the slide, and then we will attach the back. Now you'll notice that on the bracket there is this horizontal opening, and that's a slide opening because I'm going to put my first screw in there so that we can make adjustments to make this square, and then when the drawer is in, it will slide smoothly and evenly. So you can't see the bracket right now, but if you open it, that's why these are gridded, so that you can find it. So I'm going to attach it now. With this time, screws are provided. The furring strips that I put in the back, there were no screws provided. So make sure you use the right ones. There are 2 different depth screws that come with the kit. All right, so these are a little bit longer. These are, I believe, a 1/2 inch. And then the others look like they might be more like 3/8 or such. All right, I'm not going to fully tighten that down, so I was doing that slowly because I want to have some room and play while I'm adjusting for the back bracket. Okay, so for this next step, you're going to want to make sure that you have a level. And so I've got my level that has a magnetic strip on the bottom, so I just have placed it on top of the slide so that when I climb in here and I line it up, I can make sure that it's level before I drill that hole. I've got it level, but I'm not tightening that screw back there because I'm going to need some flex in order to line it up with my cabinet. Next thing is to reattach this, the receptacle piece. So I've lined it up on the rails, but they're not locked yet. So I just have to, oh, there it is, that one locked. And now I'll do the other side. So now they both lock. So now it's in place. So they have two different methods for figuring out how you're going to attach your door face to these brackets. The one is dimensionally, so they want to know how far the bottom of your bracket is to the bottom of your face frame. And then the door overlap. The problem that I have is the overlap at the top is 3/4 of an inch. The overlap on the sides is 1 1/4 inch, and then at the bottom I have a 1 1/2 overlap. So I'm not really comfortable with that method because, as you see, I've got cabinets side by side to this. So I want my door to be lined up with those two doors. That's more important to me than the whole math calculations. Plus, for a lot of us, when it comes to math, sometimes we don't get it right. So I'm going to use this double-sided tape. So you take it off and then you would fix it to the bracket on both sides. And then you're going to peel off this outer layer and affix the door. Once you affix the door, you're going to be able to remove the bracket to then pre-drill your holes. And that's what I'm going to do next. So this note was just for me to say, hey, when you're installing all these handles, right, because I installed all these cabinets myself, don't put it here. I'm going to want it here, but I didn't want to install it until I had my trash can assembly together. So that will be another project for me. All right, so the first thing I need to do is I need to engage this all the way. And then line that up. So I want to hold it in place. And then I'm going to double check, right? So I've done it visually, but I want to double check that I've got the right that I've got it centered on the cabinet. All right. And level. Okay, I was having trouble getting this double-sided tape to stick on this right side. So I've attached the left, and now I need to level this. So the problem was that this bracket on this side was bent at the top, and so I wasn't getting a flat connection. So now I have to readjust. I've got this side attached, but there is some leeway. So I'm gonna, this side is not attached except by double stick tape. So I want to get it level again. And then I push it in, and I'm much happier with that. And so when I look, I like that seam and then this seam as well. So now I should be able to attach it. So I had trouble, and again, it was because the bracket, it got bent, must have been in shipping. One of the other issues that I had is they didn't send me screws to attach these brackets. So I actually used the screws that I took out from the door face for the soft close, since I don't need hinges on this anymore. So I just reused those. Now it's sitting flat. This top portion was bent, so right here. So I straightened that out, and now we're going to pre-drill. So I chose here and here, making sure not to go through the cabinet. All right, and then here as well. Okay, so now that that's attached, I'm going to put it back in on the bracket. So these screws, the way this looks, this latches on, and then this one hooks on as well. So now it is in, and then it is a soft close, but okay, so there you go. Now we can put the trash bins in. One, two, and then there you go. So next I'll add my handle here so it'll look like the drawers do. Awesome.